Happy Bastille Day, Mr. Boo. Hi, welcome back to me and Mon Ami on Bastille Day. That's right, July the 14th, the French National Day, the day when the French celebrate the fact that they stormed the Bastille in 1789 and they did away with feudalism and they got rid of their kings and they got rid of their queens. And you could hear the people sing, couldn't you? Singing the songs of angry men. Well, they're probably quite angry today because, as you may know, Europe is experiencing a monster heat wave. The temperature in the car here now is up to 46.6. The air temperature out there, I think, is about 32. But the other major problem is that it's just not getting cool at night, is it? So, you know, it's sort of 25, 26 at midnight, and at 6 a.m. it's 22. And so what we've got is a canicule. Anyway, we're not going to moan, but we are going to keep an eye on how this our Citroen Me performs in the heat, because as you know, I've been talking quite a lot about that is our major problem with it. It's just how we manage to drive around and do adventures in the summer. But what we're going to do today is take you through Bastille Day. We're going to take you into Nice. We're going to see what's happening in the Bastille celebrations. We're going to take you to a very traditional restaurant for a Bastille lunch. And then this evening, we're going to take you to the Grand Bal in VILLEFRANCHE, and then we're going to take you up the mountain, up the Fort de Montalban, where we're hoping to manage to see the fireworks of both Nice and VILLEFRANCHE at the same time. Now, nobody's ever done that before. Of course, Bastille Day has become in Nice a day tinged with both joy and massive sadness because, of course, in 2016, was it? 2016, there was the Bastille Night Massacre on the Promenade des Anglais, where 86 people died and 490 odd, I think, were injured, which was, I would say, probably the single most hideous event, really, since the Second World War in Nice. It has meant that the Bastille Night fireworks for many years did not take place because obviously it was thought of as disrespectful. And then they made the decision last year to do them, but to do them the night before. Because on the night of the 14th, they do a sort of special light commemoration show for the victims, don't they?
Of the 86 beams of light.
86 beams of light.
In the sky.
But it's always a strange day for us because that Bastille night, we were meant to come into Nice for those fireworks, not because we particularly wanted to, but we actually had a guest staying, and it was one of those things that you thought, well, we'll take them to. And luckily, the night before, we'd been out and had a skimful, and everybody was a bit hungover, and we couldn't quite bring ourselves to go. And in fact, we went to bed super early and missed all the fireworks. Net result is when the news broke, we were endlessly assailed by phone calls from people who were convinced, who couldn't get hold of us because we were asleep, who were convinced that we were there. Thankfully we weren't, but we did come down here the next day, didn't we? And went for lunch to our favourite restaurant, Acciardo, in the old town, in a sort of, I don't know what it was, show of defiance. It was a determination to carry on, wasn't it? There was a definite sense in Nice that people just were determined that life was going to go on. We weren't just going to be defeated. But it was horrendous. There were still bodies on the Promenade des Anglais covered with sheets. The truck which had caused the massacre was still there. It was essentially a kind of a grave in a way. But anyway, life has moved on, but it has not been forgotten, and I suspect never will be. And in fact, this year they finally installed the big memorial, didn't they, on the Promenade des Anglais? And of course, that's what led them to building this barrier, which stretches the whole of the promenade now. It took 2 years to build, it cost a fortune, but it, in theory, would prevent that kind of incident occurring again. Well, there's a surprising amount of stuff open, Mr. Boo. In fact, I'd say most things, which is good news because it should mean that this lovely old restaurant we're going to take you to will actually be open. Now, wouldn't that be a turn up? So, something we've never done, we're going to attempt to drive into the old town, because I think there is a section of the old town where you can drive just a tiny bit. If we do a ride here, just past the tram station. So look, can we go in here? What do you think? No.
No.
No. No. There's a barrier, isn't there?
Yeah.
Is there electric charging? I don't believe this. This is insane. We have, by complete accident, discovered a really brilliant place to park with an electric charger. Now, I think that is Elton's way of telling us he loves us and we still love him, don't you?
Must be.
Whoa. And how many electric charging points do you get with them? I was going to say a church behind it. Is it a cathedral? I'm really not sure, but it's a cracker. Let's have a quick look. It's absolutely incroyable. So, if you just walk down here, you're right into the heart of the old town. I wish I'd not told you about that charging point, because I just want it to be our secret, really. Don't you? Such a find. It's interesting, this area, because there's quite a few very traditional restaurants. And just to prove my point, this restaurant here does testicles of mutton. So there's a theme developing today, Mr. Boo. Balls.
The Grand Bal and the Mouton's Bals.
Yeah. This is our butchers, but they're on vacances, so for 3 weeks. So we had to get 3 weeks worth of meat the other day.
The bells are going, but there's no cannon today because it's the only day of the year they don't do the 12 o'clock cannon.
Oh, because of the massacre.
Yeah.
So we met, I think you're subscribers. Are you subscribers? Who are you?
Sarah and Grant.
Sarah and Grant. Lovely to meet you. Where are you?
Mr. Boo, nice to meet you.
Where are you headed?
And Halloween.
Halloween. No, this is Twiggy.
Twiggy.
not Halloween.
This is the replacement. Don't get triggered, Mr. Boo. Oh, look at that, Twiggy. Potatoes and jambon au grand-mère. It's a bit of your old grandma.
Yeah.
Looks lovely.
Shoulder of grandma.
Shoulder of grandma and some porchetta. Oh, lovely, lovely, lovely. So, just round here is today's traditional restaurant, and it is open, and hopefully our e-booking worked, because we're going to take you to the wonderfully historic Cave de la Tour. Well, what have you got, Mr. Boo?
Well, I'm glad you asked. I've got a vitello tonato.
What's a vitello tonato?
It's slices of veal with a tuna mayonnaise sauce on top. usually topped with gherkins like this, a little cornichon, and it's a mad Italian dish, to me mad.
I associate more with Italy than France, wouldn't you? Definitely. But again, it's an example of that crossover between France and Italy that you get in Nice quite often. Nice. And they look rather delicious. Again, Italian style fried potatoes, I think.
Yummy homemade chips.
Homemade chips. And I've gone for something very unusual for me, because I'm usually meaty, but it's just so damn hot today. I just could not face adobe, so I've gone for fish. I've gone for herring with pomme vapeur, which is a steamed potato, and some salad and some dressing. And then we've got to share some roasted peppers, which are something I do a lot at home. Roasted peppers, all right, air fryers, and then peel the skins off and then chill them, and then they serve with anchovies and olives. And this doesn't look too garlicky. I serve mine with a lot of garlic. But this herring dish is a tribute to our dear friend Helen, because she always serves, she's Dutch, and she always serves Dutch herrings at Christmas, at their Christmas parties. And I'd never have eaten them otherwise, because I look at them, I go, ugh, but I really love them. And that's lovely. It's cooling. It's an actually cooling dish. And boy, do we need it. Bit of roast pepper. Just be careful of the oil, it drips. It's so lovely. The sweetness of the poivron, the pepper, the saltiness of the anchovy, and then the sort of bitterness of the olives. It's that classic triumvirate, sweet, salty, bitter. But this place is, I can't begin to tell you how much atmosphere it's got, particularly if you come and sit inside here. It's a little bit like being on a film set, but it's real. It's been here, I think, since 1947, and look, even the electrics just went off to prove it. Well, that was delicious and sort of perfect for Bastille Day. It was quintessentially French, and honestly, the food is so good. And that total bill, including 2 lovely glasses of wine, because that is a real wine place. Trust me, we looked at the wines they've got around there. They are passionate about wine. It's a good drinkers restaurant. The whole thing came to €61.60, which I think, and that included coffees. I think that's pretty good. Well, here is Elton waiting for us outside the church in the sunshine. Let's just see what the temperature is in here at 1:25 p.m. So, well, I think you can see the thermometer has gone into a meltdown. It's 188 degrees. I don't think it's quite that hot. If you actually look on our old thermometer, our analog one, it's just shy of 50 degrees in here. But that thermometer's been in direct sun because the silver paper moved. Why I, absolutely love this car, but it is in heat waves like we're having in Europe now, almost every year. We had one like this last year that went on much longer. It's it's damaging to health, that's all I can say. Anyway, let's go to the Grand Bal. The Citadel for the Grand Ball. No, the Grand Bal.
The Grand Bal.
What's the Grand Bal, Mr. Boo?
Big ball.
I wish I'd not asked. Anyway, let's see what a Bastille big ball is all about. See, this is definitely a community event. This is, and I think, will this be reproduced in villages across France, do you think?
Absolutely.
Everybody has a grand ball, like they have a fireman's ball, don't they?
They do
Up in
indeed.
Laturby. We once went to the fireman's ball, didn't we?
We did.
We rather enjoyed it. But yeah, you see, this is just a lovely community event. Everybody gathered round from the village, not really tourists at all, and big queue for the barbecue and the beer and the box wine. Sausages. You're going to have a sausage, Mr. Boo?
Ooh. Oh,
It's a big queue for a sausage. I think we'd starve. As far as community events go, it's not got a bad view. When you look out there, there are some of the world's biggest super yachts out there, including one with a helicopter and about 4 submersibles on it. A friend of mine said it's so foul it looks a bit like the Isle of Man ferry. And as far as I know, it's a sort of support vessel for another super yacht, which I don't think is in the bay at the minute, but it's round the other side. But it was here the other day, and you're in luck because I just happened to send the drone over the two of them. So it is now 9 o'clock and we are heading up the up Mont Aulbon, up the Fort de Mont Aulbon, where we are hoping we're going to get a spectacular view not only of the fireworks of Villefranche but the fireworks of Nice, because it's a unique place in this whole area in that you can see on a clear day right into Italy that way, and you can see well, really as far as Cannes that way on a good day. Yeah. With a following wind. At 9 o'clock, the temperature in our little Ami, well, it's cooled down. It's been a bit breezier this evening, and it's a mere 28 with the windows open. And there has been no sun on this car for 3 hours, so we're still at 28 degrees. But this feels relatively relaxing, doesn't it, Mr. Boo, after what we've gone through. But anyway, let's take the drive up Esperides. It's quite a spectacular drive, which I'm hoping with the 360 you can see, but the light we're beginning to lose, but obviously you can't do fireworks in the light, so we've got to go there around this time. And it'll be very interesting to see who's up here. It's been years since we've done this. We did it years ago, didn't we, and came up and watched the fireworks on both sides. You do have to be careful on many of these bends because there are absolutely no fences. So it's 10 past 9 now, we're beginning to lose the light. I think sunset is 9:14 precisely. Temperature still 28.4.
That's rockstar parking.
It's now 9:30 and well, the crowds are gathering. I've got a feeling it's going to be traffic chaos when we try and leave. But basically, everybody's scrambling to get their vantage point. I think most people are trying to see the Nice fireworks because obviously they'll be bigger, more brass. But we're going to show you both, of course. Right, Mr. Boo, I think the best tactic is, like they used to do in Scooby-Doo when they divide up and say, you go this way and I'll go that. I think you go that way and do Villefranche. I'll go this way and do Nice.
Okay.
Up Elton's back passage, because this little path goes right by his bedroom.
Goodness.
I've heard.
Oh,
allegedly. Well, that was Bastille Day 2023. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like, please give us a comment, please think about buying us a coffee. But remember, most of all, stay charged.